Hello, this is Weber State Sports. I'm Marvin Walker, your sports reporter. Charles Klinger, a former Wildcat track and field standout, was inducted into the Weber State Athletic Hall of Fame last Friday. John Coyle has our story.
One of the greatest keys to success is habits. Human beings by nature are habitual creatures.
Inspiration filled the air for Wildcat athletes last Friday as Charles Klinger, a former standout for the Wildcat track team, imparted some words of wisdom. Klinger, who was a 6-time All-American and 2-time NCAA champion in track and field during his time at Weber State, was in Ogden last Friday because he was being inducted into the Weber State Athletic Hall of Fame. Charles and his wife Kelly, who was also a former track and field standout from Weber State, took extra time out of their now busy schedules to come talk to some of our current athletes about success.
They worked hard and were great people, and I wanted them to influence the rest of our team.
Although student athletes have an extremely busy schedule, they found what the Klingers had to say well worth the time.
You know, it was just so cool to have, a former Weber State athlete come and share his past experiences with us and give us some insight that can really help us in our future careers far down the road and right now as athletes.
Klinger had many good things to say to student athletes, but his imparting message was this.
Form a habit in that of doing it well, doing it with their best efforts, and putting in their maximum effort on the things that they're capable of doing. If they'll learn that and make a habit of that, it'll translate into athletic careers, into post-college careers throughout their lives. They'll gain habits of working hard and being successful people.
Charles Klinger was inducted into the Weber State Athletic Hall of Fame Friday, September 24th. Both Charles and his wife Kelly say that athletics has played a tremendous role in helping them become successful in their adult life. From Stewart Stadium, I'm John Coyle, Weber State News.
Klinger also took 4th place at the Olympic team trials when competing for Weber State. There are athletes from Weber State that participated in the Xterra Triathlon this past weekend. Here's John Capel with the story.
4 Weber State athletes and over 1,000 other competitors from all over the country endured the challenge of the grueling Xterra Triathlon this weekend. The Xterra USA Championship is a culmination of a series of over 50 qualifying events that award points to the top athletes in Xterra's 8 regions.
And this year we'll have 225 Xterra events in 16 countries. This all started in the late 90s. Our company had done mountain biking events, road cycling events, and all of a sudden there was a lot of discussion about off-road triathlon.
Weber State's Nick Fisher qualified for this year's championship triathlon in a long course amateur division. Athletes compete in a 1-mile swim, a 19-mile trail bike ride, and finish with a 6.5-mile trail run. Fisher said that he had a slow start in the swim phase of the long course, but still came in 7th overall. Spencer Story, president of Weber State's Triathlon Club, took 3rd place in the 20 to 24 age division in the short course. Weber State athletes Brad Coleman and Charles Spencer stood on the dock together to begin the swim, never thinking that they would end up on the winner's podium. Coleman, a zoology major, took 2nd place overall. Spencer crossed the finish line first in a 20 to 24-year-old division. What does it take to finish a race of this difficulty?
It's an instinctive drive that he has to push on where everybody else wants to quit.
It doesn't matter whether you're ahead or behind, as long as you finish the race.
I can see here Matthew Godfrey, he's out there today.
Racers come from all over the country to accept the challenge.
Racing Xterra for a couple years, qualified for the national championships. Beautiful out here, I couldn't resist coming. So they said that the course was going to be really tough, and it was.
Marvin, there was an interesting side note in the race. A visually challenged competitor was taking direction from his partner. Totally trusted him. They're going through the hairpin turns at top speed, and it was just absolutely amazing. Back to you, Marvin.
All right, thank you, John. With the first month of the fall semester behind us, the women's soccer team is trying to excel both on and off the field. Seeing the soccer team practicing on the soccer field every afternoon is a normal sight on campus during the fall. But surprisingly, after practices, the soccer team can be found in the stadium doing team study table.
Between school and practice times and lifting and traveling, it is really, really difficult to find time to get homework done, but with things like team study table after practice and stuff, it does help a lot.
Being gone 8 days out of the past 2 weeks, Study Table on the road also helps student athletes manage their time away from home. Being a student athlete is a lot harder during season just because of travel. With the players having everywhere from 12 to 18 credit hours, around 15 hours of practice, and at least 2 games a week, study tables seem like an obvious thing to do to help manage the rest of their time for homework. With practicing and studying under their belts, the women's soccer team takes on Oregon State today at 3 for their last home game before the conference season. That is today at 3, and there's also a football game tomorrow at 1:30. I'm Marvin Walker, that's your Weber State Sports, and we'll see you next week.